So welcome back to another episode of Life of a Videographer. And this is an amazing one, but it'll be a little stressful. But first, let me explain what a videographer is. And I'm gonna go right into Google. Just give me a moment here. So there's quite a few definitions here, but I'm gonna go with this right here because the person asked a question. People also ask, I like those. What is the purpose of videography? So the answer starts with that question is unlike cinematography, which involves highly planning and producing complex projects. The purpose of videography is to capture live events. It also states that videographers live in the moment, not only to capture the footage, but by fixing lighting and inserting music and sound effects when needed. So today, on Life of a Videographer, we're going to talk about some of those things you must have when becoming a videographer. Now, one, you definitely need a camera with long battery life. I use the Canon C100, excellent battery life. You also want a camera that you can plug in. It may come with an AC adapter, so that way when you're out, recording these live events, you have a place to plug in. Now, which brings me to this point. Whenever possible, if you haven't been to a venue, go ahead, as a videographer, if you can, and check out that venue. Look for good places to place your camera that's going to capture the moment as needed. Again, you only get one shot, just one shot to capture the moment, and that's definitely the life of a videographer. Unlike content creators and even directors and cinematographers that have actual time to set up things, to give retake if need be. But as a videographer, you got to capture the moment. So, and doing certain documentaries, you got to be on point. You gotta make sure you got enough batteries, enough memory to record to. We're gonna talk about a lot of this stuff and what I use, which been, very helpful tools for me doing this life as a videographer. So, things I look for in a camera is a camera which I can exchange lenses. You want to make sure you have quite a few different lenses, zoom lenses, meaning you can zoom in if you have to. Then you might want to have a wide angle lens for close-up shots and capturing more of the image in a tight space. There's rules to using that wide angle lens, but we're not going to get into that yet. And then you might want to have a basic standard lens. Most cameras, they'll start with like 15 to 45 millimeter as a kit lens, or 18 to 55 millimeter, because it covers a wide area. You get a nice wide enough shot, and then you also get, opportunity to zoom out to about 55, depending on which lens you have. But then you have telephoto lenses where you out there, you know what I'm saying? You might be up in the bleachers somewhere. You need to get down there and capture that moment. So you're definitely gonna need an arsenal of lenses. But you don't have to start there as a videographer. I would say maybe get a lens from like, let's say 28 to 105. You see a lot of photographers and videographers start with, because they're able to zoom out and they're still able to capture enough in the lens. Now, one of the lens though you should have with you is a prime lens. Anything along the lines of that, even 100 millimeter prime lens. As a videographer, if you're going to be recording live events, you got to expect to be back there, maybe all the way up in the bleachers. And sometimes you're right up front. It depends. So when I'm doing a shoot, I like to visit the actual location so I can get a look around, see where things are located, where they prefer to have their cameras. I did a play and, they had a spot up on the balcony for us. They also had one in the back, and then they had one up front and on stage, of course. So again, knowing these locations can give you a general idea where you're going to capture your best shots. Now, in some cases, you may be working with other videographers, and maybe y'all can talk about, you know, sharing each other's footage, which is good. And that's also the life of a videographer. Gotta be willing to, you know, work with other photographer, videographers, or directors, whoever. You gotta be open-minded. You can't just go in there thinking it's all about me and I'm gonna, sorry about that. It's all about me and me only. No. What it's about is capturing that moment, you know. So videographers only get that one shot, you know. You only get one shot, you know, to capture it. So if you're doing weddings, chances are you're a videographer. You know, if you're not a photographer or both, you are a videographer. So you are capturing that live event, and then you're gonna go home, and as you mentioned here, you might need to fix some lighting, you might have to zoom in, you might have to zoom out, you might have to chop in between, you might have to fix some lighting issues, so on and so forth. So whenever possible, and I'm doing a wedding or a live event, I normally pretty much, you know, select my picture profile, and you can do that with most cameras. And I'll probably go with portrait mode or something like that, so I can get the best skin colors and best tone, color picture profile tones. But you know, there's a lot. So back to cameras, we talk about the lenses. I also want to make sure my camera gets great battery life. You don't want to have to keep changing out batteries or relying on power source, because where you're at or where you need to be might not have a power plug right next to it. And a lot of events, or let's just say concert halls and so on and so forth, they don't want you running an extension cord from way over there. Even if you tape it down, they feel like that is a opportunity for someone to trip and fall. So another way of getting around that, though, is to bring you like an inverter or some type of power pack that you can, you know, sit right next to you that has enough juice for you to run your camera. And there are some out there, you know. I would probably say about 120 watts at least, or more, 400 watts if possible. And you know, it's battery operated, so you basically just plug in a battery and it runs off that battery. And you know, as long as you got extra battery somewhere over there plugged up, then you can run over, grab that, you know, exchange batteries and get back to shooting. Now, another thing is memory cards. Now, on my Canon C100, we have a dual slot recording function, which was one of the main reasons I purchased this camera, because I have had cards fell on me. And again, as a videographer, you only get one shot. So ain't no like do that over, or, you know, you're not, you know, really a content creator where you can, you know, take as many shots as needed, you know. So you definitely want to make sure you buy good memory cards, not the cheap ones. Make sure they have a fast enough read and write speed for your camera, or it will jam up on you. Trust me, I've been there as well. So there's a lot to go over as a videographer, but these are the things, again, that I look for in my camera. Make sure that I have exchangeable lenses, make sure it has good battery life, make sure that it has a dual slot recording function. Now, if it doesn't have the dual slot recording function, and even when I do have both my memory cards in, because I have had one fail, I feel like I don't want to risk it. So I have this monitor. It's a Ninja, and I actually I'll place it up on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. But it's a monitor that has a SSD card in it. So when I press record on my camera, it's recording to that memory or that SSD card as well. So I have a backup to a backup to a backup. Now, for me, sometimes that's not even enough. So I'll sit either like my cell phone up top to capture some moments and just let that run. Again, as a videographer, we only get one shot. So I have in the past, you know, again, had memory cards fell on me, hard drives crash on me, so on and so forth. But this is the life of a videographer. So I didn't talk enough today, y'all. Check out some of the other tutorials here on my channel, Video Pro Solutions. And we're gonna do this day by day, y'all. We're gonna take it day by day, and we're gonna just talk about different things and talk about some of the experiences I had out here as a videographer. Now, I'm also a content creator, I'm a filmmaker, I'm an editor. I'm a what can I call myself? Also, I am a audio engineer. Yeah. Come on, what am I calling? Calling myself. Ain't that something? I tell you. That's why you shouldn't keep those phones in your hand. If you accidentally butt dial or call somebody, it can be an issue. But anyway, man, I'm in with this. Thank you for watching Life of a Videographer. And I'm going to end with the lines I always say. You know what that is. If you don't, here it is. Remember to capture those moments and do the best with what you have. Till next video, y'all. Peace.